Welcome. A little late today. Sorry about that. Some technical difficulties. I also, for the first time in I don't know, years, I cut myself shaving. So I've been trying to nurse this little thing over here. Like, stop bleeding. I got to get on here. Anyway, I think we're good now. And I think I'm going to survive. Anyway, welcome to the Epic Real Estate Investing Show, where we show people how to invest in real estate with an emphasis on retiring early. And today we're going to talk about something a little bit different. We're going to talk about fixing and flipping, and specifically an REI Ace client who's really doing some amazing things in the Tampa market. As you can see right here, nice fat flip. Doesn't look like much, but boy, he sure pulled a profit out of that one. And then here's this one over here, $84,470. Here's another little house over here, $49,000 private. Another one here for $51,000. Add all these up, adds to be quite a bit. And then this little guy right here for $87,000. So we're going to talk to him today and try and get you some tips on how he was able to off, and specifically how you can potentially capture something from him and his words of wisdom and pull it off yourself. All right. But before we begin, if this is your first time here, really glad that you found us. And if you like what you hear, make sure you hit the subscribe button before you go. And if this is not your first time here, welcome back. And thank you for continuing to share this with your friends and family. I really appreciate that about you. Just would not be here if it weren't for you doing that. And by the way, if you'd like to get started investing in real estate in the same way that our guest today did, or maybe even just jumpstart your existing investing efforts like you did, I put together a free training for you, and you can find the link in the description. Go to mattsfreetraining.com. Or if you'd like to work together one-on-one, we could do that as well. And you can go to reiace.com, head over there, answer a few short questions about yourself and your goals, and then you can pick a time for us to hop on the phone and brainstorm some ideas about what getting you to your next level actually looks like. That's over at reiace.com. Alrighty. So our guest today, he is coming back to visit us. He's an REI Ace client. I've worked with him, I don't know. Gosh, I don't know. It's so weird with the pandemic and everything that's going on. Like, I've lost all track of time. Probably a year, maybe a little bit over a year. We'll confirm that when he joins us. But he was on before and got a little bit of a slow start. And we worked some things out and started to get some good results and started to build some momentum. And now, as you just saw, he's absolutely crushing it. And however, he'll never tell you that because he always wants to do better. He always thinks he can do better. He always calls me and tells me he has these problems, and I get on the phone. It's like, what problem? You just made $89,000 on your last fix and flip. Anyway, he has high standards for himself, and he's aspiring to be very successful, more successful than he has been. So without further ado, please help me welcome to the show, Mr. Mark Sestilio. Mark, welcome to the show.
Hey, Matt. Thanks for having me on.
Good. Welcome back, buddy. How's Tampa, Florida?
Gorgeous right now. I mean, yeah. This is the time to be here, that's for sure.
This is a good time. What is this? This is April, so this is when it's not too humid.
Yeah, no, it's like perfect. It's like 60s in the morning and 80s in the afternoon. It's great right now.
Fantastic. Well, super duper. Yeah, I mean, we kind of had like the getting started conversation, I don't know, several months ago. And I just wanted to check in with you and kind of share and shine the light on your most recent results. And you're doing really well for yourself. So I guess bring me up to speed since the last time we were here and what business looks like for you today.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, I mean, we've been spending a lot of time on making adjustments with your guidance. And I did have a little bit of a slow start. It's really almost been like 2 years, Matt, since we started, and it was kind of a blur because that was right when the pandemic started as well. So, I've been in real estate a little bit before that and had some experience, but I knew that I needed to kind of make a shift and get some guidance and make some changes and really be able to ramp it up and really kind of start scaling my business a little bit. And, so everything's been good, with your help and kind of tips on where to go and what to do and adjustments to be made with, this pretty tough market. You know, we're successful. It's a lot of work, but you know, we as you see that we've made some pretty hefty profits.
Right, right. So let's go ahead and just kind of look at that of what you have been able to accomplish. So this one's kind of hard to see. This looks like a condo. Tell me about this one
Yeah,
real quickly.
townhouse.
Townhouse.
By the way, all those, maybe I should have sent the after pictures, but all those pictures are the before pictures.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes a lot more sense. I
But
was like, wow, this is really expensive now to live in Tampa.
yeah, I mean, those are like, I don't know
go very far.
I guess I sent the before pictures just because, you know, that's what we look for, right? I mean, that's the type of houses that we look for. Although a couple of them weren't in bad shape, including this one. That one, we actually, all we did on that was clean it up a little bit and throw it back on the market. So that was really like a hotel.
So this one, you made $51,000 of profit. How much does a house like that cost?
We sold it for 110 or 115, and got it under contract for 42,000. Now this was a kind of a long process. It was a probate deal. It had a lot of hand holding and stuff to kind of get it to the finish line. But we made it work, and there was somebody living in there that didn't want to move. So that took some time as well. And as you know, with the market appreciating so much over that extended period of time, it appreciated, you know, quite a bit. So, but we didn't really do anything to that house.
Really? Well, I consider that a huge win right there.
Yeah.
Tell me about this one.
Actually, this is the same scenario on that one. We just cleaned it up a little bit as well, and it was almost exactly the same scenario as, but the sellers were ready to move, and we made them a fair deal. And actually, we purchased the property with them still living in it, kind of cut them a deal to give them time to find another house to live in. So they got the majority of the cash when we closed on it, and then they got a couple months to find another property, and then moved out. We cleaned it up a little bit, fixed just a few things, and just to make it a little bit more presentable. And I think we sold that one for like 175, something like that.
75.
Yeah,
it's amazing. We should have called this episode "Smalls is Big Profits." Here's another one. This is a little bit bigger.
Yeah, so this is
bigger profit as well.
yeah, and this was almost a full rehab, like roof, paint, flooring, updated the kitchen a little bit, fix up the bathrooms a little bit. There's a really nice pool in the back that we had to do a few things to. Had to update the electric. So this is one of those scenarios where the seller needed a cash buyer. Like, you were not going to sell this house in the retail market to somebody that, you know, is going to require financing. So because of the electric situation. So, but not a huge rehab. It was like a $30,000 rehab, 35 maybe. Again, it looks much nicer now, but it really good house, good neighborhood, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage with a pool and a big fountain in the back. And so that was a good one.
Well, okay, so we went over that's like 4 or 5 houses there. Probably adds up to pretty close to $400,000. So those are your wins. Let me know what have you learned along the way? What are your biggest lessons as a fix and flipper?
I think we've had to adjust, and I think that the biggest thing, as you know, a lot of that adjustment comes with the adjustments in marketing and learning how to convert better, the conversion. You know, I have a small team, an assistant and an acquisition manager that I've trained, and we work together closely on the leads. And you know, shout out to Josh Miller, another REIA's client that I'm using Go for Close, you know, for a while now, and we got a couple deals in the beginning. Had to make adjustments again. You know, some things didn't work out. We made adjustments. They're still making adjustments, and we're really seeing the results now. You know, a lot more leads in, better quality, more of the type of houses that we're looking for, and the type of sellers that we're looking for. And so that's working good. I mean, we get a lot of leads a week that, you know, we got to filter through, and but that's kind of the takeaways. Everything that I've learned is you know, making those adjustments and the tweaks to the marketing. You know, I've been rehabbing houses for a while, so that's pretty easy for me, other than the contractor situation, which is really difficult right now with the amount of people that are the workers out there that are, you know, everybody's slammed. So it's hard to it's hard to find more contractors, and I'm really feeling that right now. So I mean, I have 5 other houses that we're renovating at the moment, with a couple for sale, and we got 2 more coming up. So
got it. Okay, so real quickly, you went over we got the marketing dialed in. We tried that a lot. We tried to do a bunch of different ways of doing it, and we finally got it working. But we eventually kind of discovered that, you know what, let's just outsource it and give it to someone else to do that part, right?
Yeah, and I think that was a big step for me. You know, we were doing a lot of our marketing in-house, with my assistant, with some other help. But you know, I want to scale the business a little bit. I mean, I'm not necessarily going to do 200 deals a year, but like I want to get to a point where kind of I'm working on the business and not so much in the business. And we got to start outsourcing stuff. So yeah, outsourcing the cold texting and calling, you know, is a huge help. So then really my acquisition manager and I can just focus in on the acquisition and the conversion.
Right.
And
let's talk about that now, because, you know, we got the leads down and we got the marketing down. We just outsourced it to someone that knows what they're doing over at goforclose.com. You can go check them out. Tell them Epic sent you and they'll take good care of you. But really, and everyone thinks like it's a lead problem, or they think it's a money problem. But it really comes down to being where the real money is made in real estate is the conversion process. It's taking that lead and converting it to a signed contract. And I know you're doing this a while for yourself, but you did bring somebody in. Can you tell me where you found the person, and then how you got them to a point where you're confident about like just kind of delegating it and letting them do it?
Well, I think in any other situation, you know, with you got to hire the right person, right? I do own a couple other businesses, and I kind of learned that along the way as well. And well, I mean, quite honest, I found Thomas. So shout out to Thomas. He's doing great. I found him right out of college. He interned with me, marketing, like helping me out with some marketing when we were kind of doing everything in house.
Okay, so let's pause there, because I know that's people got questions. When to find an intern, because that sounds like a really sweet deal. You know, you find someone fresh out of college that's hungry. They're going to come and work for free for a little while. Like, how do you find that person?
Well, the way we did it is we just signed up, or you know, posted on the nearby local college that we were looking for somebody interested in interning, and that may have some either a major or have interest in marketing. And you know, we had a few people apply. I actually had 2 interns last year, and then this one, Thomas, he really has got a great head on his shoulders, and you know, he started interviewing for jobs, and I started thinking like, man, you know, I really feel like he's the right fit for an acquisition manager position. And So we started the conversation, and I got the ability to meet him, understand him, understand his personality and his traits and stuff. And then, like I said, I thought he was a really good fit, and we talked about it, and we kind of hit the ground running. Before he ended up snagging another job out of there right out of college. So,
Right. Well, good. So you went through a few of them before and then you found one that you liked. And then you had kind of a sense, okay, I don't want to let this person go. And so what kind of conversation do you have? And without, you don't have to, you can reveal as much detail as you want, but you don't have to reveal everything if you don't want to. But I know a lot of people, this is a question that comes to me frequently. And when it comes like maybe for bird dogs and acquisition managers, what do you pay them? How do you pay them? What's that structure look like?
Yeah. So, really, Thomas, didn't have any real world work experience, but he had the right head on his shoulders. He had the right mentality. He had the right personality traits that I felt like would be a really good fit for being an acquisition manager. And I felt with him coming right out of college that I could kind of mold him, and just be a mentor to him and kind of teach him the ropes in order to do this. Um, you know, as far as the pay goes, he's full commission, and he makes 10% of the profit of the deal. And it's that simple. I paid him a little bit of a salary to start out, to get his feet wet, and obviously he had no other income coming in. Make sure that he was comfortable for the first couple of months, and then we kind of hit the ground running. I mean, we went, got a couple few deals early on. Then there was kind of an adjustment period, but we've made those adjustments, and like we're pretty steady. And taking 10% of the profits that you see there, I mean, it's pretty good for him, starting out.
Sure.
And we got a lot more to come. So
Right. I mean, totally. I mean, if you got an $80,000 deal, right? That's like
yep.
that's a good profit for him. That's a good payday especially for a kid. I mean, it's a good profit for anybody. I was going to say it's a good profit for a kid coming out of college, but that's good for anybody. So, all right. So I'm kind of narrowing in on this because I didn't even know we were going to talk about this, but I think this is important and a lot of people want to know about it. It's because people think about, they might have the resources, they might have some money to throw at marketing and leads, but they might not have the time to actually go out and convert these leads to contracts. How important do you think it was your experience going out on the field and having these conversations with the sellers to help him learn those ropes? And then when you kind of hit that dry period, what kind of adjustments did you make?
Well, I mean, I expected there to be kind of, obviously a learning curve for him. I mean, he was completely raw to real estate, although he was very interested in real estate in college, and he expressed that. But we, everything's a process, right? And we use your daily navigator scorecard. And I started using it when I started working with you, and we still use it today. Our numbers, our goals are much higher than they were when we started. And I really kind of just tried to ingrain in him that we have to do these activities on a daily basis in order to get, to the finish line with getting a property under contract. Obviously, he needed help with analyzing deals, understanding rehab, understanding all the costs and the calculator that we use. But that came fairly quickly. There's always things that he's still learning. But I think what was probably the biggest learning curve was dealing with different personalities and different sellers, and learning how to build rapport, build trust, and then take them through like kind of a full sales process. And using your 9-point seller interview. We've kind of added to that a little bit and kind of take every single lead through a process and get an offer in their hands, and then start talking and see if it works. And he just had to learn all that stuff, and he's still learning. I'm still learning, but we're getting better.
Fantastic. Super. So right now, you kind of let it, I don't know if you let it slip, but I caught it when you said you have 4 or 5 other deals under contract right now, right? So how many?
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna dial it in more on your acquisition manager and how you guys have been able to create this good partnership together with regard to locking up all of these deals. What does the lead flow look like right now? And then what are the number of appointments he goes on right now, and kind of what based on those number of appointments, how many contracts can you expect to get signed?
Yeah, so our kind of like top metrics are, as a team. So between Thomas, which makes most of the calls, and then my assistant / lead manager, marketing manager, that does a lot of follow-up stuff. We're trying to hit like 150 calls a week combined. Thomas is the bulk of that, probably 75 to 100 calls a week. That's kind of his target. His target on appointments is 5 appointments a week. He's probably averaging 3-ish appointments a week. And our target on offers is 25 offers a week. That's Thomas probably makes 5 to 10 of those offers a week, because those are more kind of where he's built rapport. He's talking with the seller that understands their motivation, and then we kind of send blind offers and letters of intent, off of properties on the MLS that have been on there a long time, that sort of stuff. We're trying. Sorry about the music here around here, but
it's spring break in Florida right now, so hey.
Yeah, where my office is, it's right on the main strip where people are, jamming their car music all the time. So,
right.
But we want to get 1 contract a week. That's kind of our goal. Obviously that doesn't happen all the time, but we hope that kind of all those other metrics that we said kind of would produce an average a 1 contract a week, and that hopefully would also produce like 1 closed deal a week. So I mean, our target is 3-4 deals a month, and we're getting there. I mean, if people know about your daily navigator, I think you said to hit 100 points a day was kind of the initial target. Where our goal is to hit 250 points a day as a team. So nice. That includes the marketing that Go for Close does. And now I'm to the point where that goal is going to go up now, because we just signed up a month ago or so with a new direct mail marketing company that I'm working closely with, but I'm outsourcing that now too. So, and that's going to be like 3,500 letters a month. So that'll go out weekly. So whatever the math is there, like.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Oh, so 250 points a day as a team, and the team consists of Go for Close. It consists of Thomas and yourself, and then you also have an assistant, right?
Yep.
So between 4 of you, okay. So there's no surprise to me as to why you're getting the results you're getting. So that's good. I remember in the beginning, and I'm just curious what it's like now. And you'd sent me over some pictures and stuff to use for the promotion of our conversation today, and your wife was in those pictures. And I remember kind of in the beginning, she was a little bit concerned, like, do you know what you're doing, Mark? Are you sure? How are the sentiments now? I know you just had a new baby. Congratulations.
Not yet. No, she's like she's due any day now. So
Got it.
yeah,
I've got like 4 students that are all having babies right now, so I'm trying to keep track.
I was hoping, hopefully she doesn't call me while we're on this this call. Like said
Okay.
that she's in
Hopefully I
labor,
didn't
so
jinx that and you gotta go. All right.
yeah.
But go ahead. So
Um,
how is she feeling about everything now?
She's great. I mean, and she was, when you and I started together, she was helping me out with the business because we have other young kids and she wasn't working. So she was helping out, kind of kickstarting some of the marketing and doing what you said and doing the in-house marketing stuff. And as you can see in the picture there. But I mean, I think she's really pleased with the commitment that we made with you, and obviously have seen the results. I mean, you know, the deals that you showed up there are only a few. I mean, there's a few other houses that in the last 4 or 5 months that we've sold, have wholesaled a few, and we got another one that we're wholesaling here shortly, and you know, so we're just trying to ramp it up a little bit and you know, get to the point where, like I said earlier, that I can kind of work on the business a little bit more than working in the business all the time.
Perfect. Okay, cool. So I'm going to take this question here real quickly and kind of build on it and kind of build it up a little bit. Hey, it says, how do I know if I found the right house to flip? So when you're getting these deals under contract, how do you know, or how do you determine which ones you're going to say flip, which ones you're going to hold, which ones are you going to say a wholesale? Are you going to fix some and then you're not going to fix some?
Yeah. So like Matt says, we look for deals, and you know, that has a lot to do with the motivation of the seller. But you know, in my particular market, I've chosen not to or deal with houses that really are in war zones, that are something that I don't particularly want to do, like just a massive rehab, you know, 100,000 plus rehab. I don't want to do that anymore. It might come up again, but I've kind of picked the avenue that I wanted to go in with, and that what that is it's mostly hoteling properties. So
Mhm.
getting the good deal on a property, fixing it up a little bit to make sure that it passes the home inspection, the 4-point inspection, in order for for us to sell it to a retail customer that needs financing.
So
And
we're pretty much the sweet spot is kind of like in between. We're going to kind of avoid the war zones, but we don't want to go too high either and have to do too big of a rehab, like over $100,000 kind of the budget. So that's kind of your sweet spot in there.
yeah, I guess. I mean, and I think you know this, Matt. Like even before I met you, I was nervous of the market, and like, you know, we were going to have some kind of crash or something. So I had already kind of started doing that, the hoteling situation, and it seems to just have still continued to work out. Like I'm not a designer. I don't want to be a designer. And if you guys like that and you want to put your personal touch on every, you know, part of the house, then that's cool. I get it. You know, it's something to definitely be proud about. I'm kind of more of the thought, like my scope of work and the materials that we use in every house is like almost exactly the same.
Mhm.
So it's just kind of simple. I want to be more on the marketing side and the acquisition side of things, just finding good deals, and also, you know, finding deals to put in my rental portfolio as well. So, um, you know, I do say to me that we're looking for the right house, not just the right seller. I mean, if you have the right seller, then obviously you're going to be able to get a deal, but we're not necessarily looking for the right seller in some area, you know, an hour and a half away from Tampa, that's in the middle of nowhere, and it's a mobile home that he wants to just give away. Like I still probably won't do that deal because it's just a pain in the butt.
Right. Inside of
Um,
your standards.
yeah. So, we say a lot that we're looking for the right house, and if obviously some of those houses that you saw were smaller, just 2 bedroom, 1 bath houses, but they were in good neighborhoods. And the bigger one and the townhouse, they were kind of in suburbs. That 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 2 car garage house with a pool, everybody wants that. So that one, you know, so it's just a really easy sell.
Mm.
Uh, you know, you, again, we didn't do a massive renovation on that. We just cleaned it up, put some new flooring in there. Didn't even replace the kitchen, but we did put new granite countertops. Painted it, made sure everything works, updated the electric. I think we replaced the AC on this one too. Um, but the roof was good. It was like 8 years old or something like that, so that was okay.
A lot of
Um,
people have a different type or a different definition of what wholetailing is. And I'll tell you what I understand it to be, and then it sounds like you might be a little bit different, and that's perfectly okay. I just want to know let people know that there's variations of it. But wholetailing is a house that doesn't need a whole lot of work, and essentially you just kind of go in and you can just clean it up in most cases. But it sounds like you're doing a little bit more than that. It's like, what do you classify as
well,
wholesale?
yeah, I mean, it depends on the deal, right? Like, some of the houses, if I guess that to me the wholetailing definition would be like you're just cleaning it up and making sure that it passes a home inspection, the 4 point inspection. So you got
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that the roof is going to pass, the electric, the plumbing, and the AC. So that you're going to find out a little bit in your due diligence in the property, and then you can kind of clean it out, trash it out, and then throw it on the market. In this scenario on Sebring, there we did do a little bit more because I felt like by just doing a little bit more, we were going to make a significantly more higher profit, and which we did. So if I didn't do anything to that house, then except for the electric situation on that, then I probably might have made 20 or 30,000, which wouldn't have been bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of had a hunch that that's the right house, the three
Right,
two
right.
two with the pool,
Yeah, it looks really
that
good. I mean, right?
yeah.
Oh, and this was before, right? You sent me all the before pictures.
Yeah. I guess I should have sent you the after too, but that's the before.
No, that's fine. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I guess so. We talked about how we're acquiring the properties, how we got through the conversion process, and then the whole goal is just to find a deal. And then you can decide kind of what how you're going to profit from it. Are you going to flip this one, wholesale it? Are we going to wholesale it? Are we going to try to do a bigger flip? Or are you going to hold on to this one? So I guess what do you see in the market right now? Because I'm anticipating some shifts just based on monetary policy and interest rates, particularly when it comes to reselling properties on the retail level to resident owners. Are you seeing any shifts or any changes right now?
I'm not. I'm not seeing any shifts at the moment. A few months ago, I sold a house that was about an hour away from Tampa, or actually a couple. I didn't get the offers that I thought I was going to get, although they were good deals still. Anything in Tampa, like you just get blown up. I mean, there's just 15 offers in the first 2 or 3 days, and
Mm-hmm.
escalation clauses and all that kind of stuff. But um, I feel like, and you and I had this conversation, I don't know, few weeks ago, with the supply and the demand thing.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't see much changing in my market. I can't speak for the entire country, but in my market, I don't see a lot changing. And what I'll add to that is that um, in my price range, well, I don't do high end properties. Pretty much all of the properties that uh, we sell will sell between 250 and 500. And in my opinion, I think that if we're selling a house for 300,000, if the interest rates go up a point or more, then that person that did qualify for a $300,000 mortgage now doesn't qualify for a 300,000 mortgage. But there's a lot of people that still qualify for a 350 or $400,000 mortgage that will just be in the place. So it might drop the numbers a little bit, the amount of people that, but it's still the bread and butter price zone, right?
Sure.
I mean, I don't see it affecting my price range that much.
Right. Well, a good rule of thumb for doing your flips is to be right at or just below the median sales price. To your point that the people that can qualify for it now might not be able to qualify for it later, but there's plenty of people shopping at higher price points that will easily be able to qualify. And based on the supply and demand dynamics across the country, yeah, I don't see that your market getting hit that much either, if at all. I mean, it's 15 offers before noon, and maybe it's down to 12.
Right. Yeah. Right. And I mean, that's still amazing. Like years ago, you get 1 or 2 offers in a week, and you only need one buyer. So I think where we might feel it is in the outskirts a little bit, about an hour away outside of Tampa that we do deals in as well. Smaller neighborhoods might not be quite as much demand and as many buyers, but I don't think we're not big enough to really have a great view of how everything's going to play out. But I also think that we'll kind of feel it coming,
Right.
We'll see it coming a little bit.
Totally. Super. So yeah, with that said, what is it about the future that you're most excited or looking forward to right now?
I mean, to be honest, this appreciation that is happening, I really don't want it to stop, because it's funny, as difficult as it's been at rehabbing some of the properties, the longer it takes, the more money I end up making on the back end anyway, because it keeps appreciating. Right. I know that might not happen, or it might slow down a little bit, but I think what I'm really looking forward to the most is continue to make the adjustments and increase the marketing a little bit, and hopefully add 1 or 2 new team members in the next year or so, again, so that I can kind of work on the overall business and not quite as much in the business. As you know, too, I'm trying to increase the rental portfolio for passive income. We're working on that. But I'm bullish. I'm still stoked about Tampa as a whole. I mean, it's a great place, and it's getting a lot better, and there's tons of people moving here. So the demand is just staying super high.
Well, super. Congratulations, Mark. And thanks for taking time out today to share with us your success. And I know you've inspired others, and let's do it again. Let's touch base in another 6 months and see what you've conquered then. Sound good?
Yep. Sounds great. Thanks,
All right,
man. Thanks.
You bet. Take care. All righty. So that wraps it up for the show today. If you found this episode valuable, there's a really good chance that you know someone else who would as well. And when their name comes to your mind, please share it with them and ask them to click the subscribe button when they get here, and I'll take great care of them. And if you enjoyed what you saw today, hit the like button. Let YouTube know that you liked it, and they'll share that with more people for us. All righty. So that's it. God loves you, and so do I. Health, peace, blessings, and success to you. I am